Hey, Shalom, Shalom. The stuff source by Gim no praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kodash. Double ones the apostles of GMS and honesty, brothers doing the work in truth while sincerity. This is a quick one. This one's inspired actually from the Champions League final. I was looking over the highlights, the full match highlights last night, and basically on the day of the final, we had a football player, Jose Antonio Reyes, right, a Spanish, I believe, football player. He was at least at a Spanish football club. At the time he passed, if I'm not mistaken, of Sevilla. So the finals in Spain. So before the match, they basically hold a minute's silence for him. Right now, like I said, that was that same day. Right now, I know a player who played for Arsenal was playing in that final, as well. So you'd had people that were close to him, right, that were playing in that final, and during the minute silence, they zoomed in on this guy, which he may have been a Spanish footballer as well, which basically means he would have played with this guy, Jose Antonio Reyes, right? And, if I was seeing it correctly, he was kind of tearing up, right? But that didn't stop the final from taking place, right? That didn't stop the show from going on, right? And that is, the attitude that we should employ, right? Because these guys are doing it for corruptible ground, but we're in incorruptible, right? So if a guy, and that as physically as well, literally as well, because those guys were playing for for a trophy, right? So they were like, fuck, I still had to play this game, right? And we should have that same mentality, right? We'll experience knockbacks, we'll experience losses, right? But the show must go on. We must continue doing this work. We mustn't get disheartened. And we must, strive unto death. Right? We must, right? Otherwise, we will. There's no point of us having suffered what we have suffered so far. Right? This is Matthew 8:21. Another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. But Yahushua said unto him, Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead. Right? So Yahushua was cold. He was like, Look, man, you following me, man. Right? Hey, this is you now go to you now go to do this work, right? Let the dead bury their dead, right? This is 2 Timothy 2 and 3. It says, Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach, right? And that word soldier goes back to solitary, man, right? And what does a soldier do? A soldier might see his comrade die in battle, right? But he carries on, right? He doesn't, because if he starts getting weak at that point, then he might die himself, right? And once again, that's the attitude we're supposed to have. We're supposed to have this attitude that, look, if we don't, move correct, we might be on that side of death, right? It says, No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Right? If a man also strive for mastery, yet is he not crowned, yet he strive, except he strive lawfully. Right? The husbandman that laboureth must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and the Lord give the understanding in all things. Right? Remember that Yahushua Mashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel. Wherefore in I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds, but the word of the Most High is not bound. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. Right? And we're supposed to be in the same spirit. We should endure everything. Right? For gold is tried in the furnace and acceptable in the furnace of adversity, right? That they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahushua Mashiach with eternal glory. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him, right? If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he will also deny us, right? So we're supposed to, suffer like how Yahushua suffered, right? And ultimately, Yahushua suffered more. As Scripture says, his visage was marred more than any man, right? So we're supposed to suffer just like how Yahushua suffered, because ultimately we all went off. Right, this is Romans 3:23, which says, and for all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. So we all sinned, we all fucked up. Right? The Lord, has had mercy on his elect. Right? And he has basically, imputed, let me write it, it says Psalm 32:2, 32 from the top, says, blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom Yahweh imputeth not iniquity, right? And in whose spirit there is no guile, right? So if you're one of the elect, then the Lord has basically just, he's covered over your sin, right? He's had mercy. Like, look, man, I ain't gonna hold you account. Why? The Lord just chose it that way, right? It's just one of the things that we got to be grateful for, right? Let's see, I don't know if right, and yeah, this is Luke 2:49. It says, and he said unto them, how be it? How is it that ye sought me? Right, wist ye not that I must be about my father's business? Right, it says when Yahushua's parents were looking for him, when Yahushua was like, look, man, don't you know, I basically said, I got the work, I got to do the work. Right, and that's the mentality we gotta be. We're supposed to be about our father's business, right? Yeah, nothing wrong with having downtime, but you always gotta remember this truth comes first, right? We're supposed to put Yahweh Hashem Yahushua as priority, right? The first thing you think about, last thing you think about, you think about during the day, right? This is Matthew 10:37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Right? So if you you lose someone in your family, right? That shouldn't that shouldn't stop you from doing what? Why? Because ultimately you ain't supposed to love them more than, because if it stops you from doing the work, right, that means you love them more than you love the Lord. Right? And hey, the Lord's gonna be like, well, hey, you weren't worthy then, were you? Right? Then you get cast away, and you ain't Lord, you just be another casualty, right? For which there are many. Right? So he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Right? And what does the scripture say in Matthew 19? Right? It's Matthew 19:28. Right? It says, and Yahweh said unto them, well, verily I say unto you that ye which shall follow me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, and ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, right, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Right, so when you will lose things or whatever, what have you, right, but we gonna get them back manyfold in the kingdom, right? Right, so hey, just like how these guys, playing for crown, playing for trophies, right? Little bits of silver. I don't even know if it's real silver, right? Playing for bragging rights. If they gonna carry on, you know, when they lose something or someone close to them, we should too, right? At the end of the day, Scripture says this. This is Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, right? So we're supposed to basically, hey, what Scripture is playing, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, right? I believe that's all I got. So until we meet again, I'm gonna say shalom.